What's My Line? Brought to you by Prel Concentrate in the unbreakable tube. Concentrated so just a little makes lots of lather. Prel Concentrate. And now let's all play What's My Line? And now from New York, let's meet our What's My Line panel. First, a lady whose syndicated society column appears in the World Journal Tribune and newspapers from coast to coast, Miss Suzy Knickerbocker.
And next, a gentleman that I didn't find in my Christmas stocking, so I'm glad I found him tonight, Martin Gabel.
We're lucky in our house this year that Christmas comes on Sunday night because my wife, Arlene, is playing all during the week in the Broadway hit Dinner at 8. So here she is, free at last. Arlene Francis.
I thought maybe you'd forgotten my name.
Just wanted to make you nervous.
And now a gentleman who is in himself a Christmas present, our time cover boy, Mr. Bennett, Cerf.
We almost didn't have our panel moderator with us tonight because at a Christmas party yesterday, he threw a frozen custard at our director, Franklin Heller, and Heller had him arrested for carrying a congealed weapon. But we sprang him, and here he is, our boy moderator, John Charles Daly.
Whee, as we say. Bennett also told me a little bit ago he got a letter. Says that my cuffs never show, so I was going to come in with the cuffs showing. See, like this. But he shocked me so that the shirt cuffs went right back up my sleeve again with that congealed weapon. Well, thank you very much, Martin and Suzy Knickerbocker, for being part of our panel tonight. It's good to have old friends with us, particularly at this time of year. And because you're here, we'll have some celebration, and you can all put your masks on, because there are reasons which are good and sufficient why you should do so. Now, as you put them on, I will tell you that what we are concerned with here is that either some element of dress or perhaps even the possibility that one or more of you might have an area of recognition has caused us to do this. We are really just trying to guard the occupation that we're bringing in, but we want to guard it as closely as we can. We'll also have a famous mystery guest before the panel a little bit later in the program, but right now let's meet our first contestant. Will you enter and sign in, please? All right, nice to have you here with us. I've explained that we're not going to talk about anything, where you came from, what your name is, or anything else whatsoever, but we will let the audience at home and the audience here in the theater know exactly what your line is. Now, panel, we can tell you that our guest is salaried and deals in a service, and I think we might start things off with Suzy Knickerbocker.
Do you work for a profit-making organization?
No.
That's 1 down and 9 to go. Mr. Gabel.
Do you work for the state or federal government?
Yes.
Is your occupation in any way, is your presence here tonight related to the season of the year in any way?
No.
2 down and 8 to go, Miss Francis.
Are you elected to office?
No.
3 down and 7 to go, Mr. Cerf.
Are you wearing at the present time a costume other than ordinary day attire?
Yes.
Do I go on?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Would this be a costume that we would recognize if we didn't have these blindfolds on?
Yes.
Is it a costume of any branch of service in government work?
Yes.
Would it have anything to do with either the police, fire, or post office departments?
No.
4 down and 6 to go. Suzy Knickerbocker.
Could you call it a uniform?
Yes.
Would it be a uniform that is worn by a member of the armed services?
Yes.
Well, are you in the Marine Corps?
No.
That's 5 down and 5 to go, Mr. Gabel.
Are you in the Army?
No.
6 down and 4 to go, Miss Francis.
It's going to be so embarrassing to ask if you're in the Navy. And find out I'm wrong. Are you in the Navy?
Yes.
Have you, has your picture recently been in the newspapers?
No.
7 down and 3 to go, Mr. Cerf.
Are you in some branch of the Navy that requires special training?
Yes.
Would it be either submarine or aircraft part of the Navy?
Yes.
Submarine?
Yes.
Yes. Very good, Bennett. Actually, I'm going to throw the rest of the cards over, but I think we must agree that Bennett has identified
Or
the
is it the
fact.
commander of one of the nuclear submarines? or
Serving in a nuclear submarine, not the commanding officer. As a matter of fact, it's Lieutenant Junior Grade Roger Maley, who's
Oh,
serving
my
in the USS.
The Marines.
The Marines? Oh, man.
And I asked if it were the Marine Corps.
You spend a lot of time.
I'll never get over
You
that.
never will.
Roger.
Isn't that something? Well, let me explain, because Suzy, I know, is so happy to see you as a part of our program tonight. Lieutenant
No,
Maley
I
is...
didn't know how would I know he's in town? He's not supposed to be here until Thursday.
Supply officer, right?
That's
sir?
right, yeah.
Supply officer on the USS Lewis and Clark, a Polaris submarine. Been with it since she was commissioned?
That's correct.
And you just recently come back from a run.
That's true. We just came back from about 2 months under.
Suzy, we get you a lot of information, because I think this is the greatest arm of the Navy.
Oh, I do, too. I think he's
how
the
long do
greatest
you-
part of the greatest arm, too.
Yeah, man. When you're on a run like this, how much submerged?
Well, we stay completely
Traveling.
submerged for over 2 months.
Over 2 months, never come up.
Never come up.
What happens to you when you get out in fresh air?
You're happy.
Does it seem funny, though?
Yes, it does seem a little bit strange.
You know, the fresh
You
air.
don't want to go back, though.
You don't want to go back. Yeah.
Not for a while, anyhow.
Well, by this I must say, Lieutenant, that
Oh,
we
it's
had
the biggest
hoped to
surprise.
catch your mom off base, and we caught her off base completely, putting you in the United States Marines. I congratulate you on the arm of the Navy that you're in. I have a number 2 son out at Yokosuka, but he's a lawyer, and he's a base naval officer, but I think he would be as excited as he could be if he could do the kind of service you're doing. It's a great
Thank you
service.
very much.
Thanks for being with us on What's My Life.
Absolutely wonderful.
How we doing, Suzy?
Oh, it was just, I don't know.
Interfered with her eyelashes.
Only
Christmas
for a
ain't it
moment.
wonderful, huh?
Helped her Christmas now.
Oh, it
wonderful.
does.
Well, we'll have
Terrible
another...
what children do to their parents these days.
But what I was looking for, John, was that extra stripe when he got up.
Well,
because he's
it's coming.
it's coming in a minute, I
Yeah,
think. He's
it's
due to
coming.
make full lieutenant within
Yeah.
a day or two.
And that's, you know, this is something I guess a lot of you folks have got Navy in the family, but he got out of Annapolis in '63.
Yes, that's
And
right.
he'll have his full 2 stripes very, very soon now, and that's something to be very
Yeah.
proud of.
As his father before him. His father's an admiral, John. He's an aviator.
Well,
So it's an... oh.
I must say you got both ends of the Navy, one way upstairs and one down as deep as he can go. Congratulations, Suzy. He's a wonderful man, that son of yours. And we'll have another contestant for you in just a moment after this word. And now to meet our next contestant. Will you enter and sign in, please? Sam, Snyderman. Right, sir?
Right.
All right. Mr. Snyderman, where are you from?
Toronto, Canada.
Toronto, Canada. Well, it's very nice to have you with us, sir. Mr. Snyderman, may I present our panel?
How do you do?
And now, if you'll join me over here, sir, we'll let the audience in the theater and the audience at home know exactly what your line is. All right. Panel, we can tell you that Mr. Snyderman is self-employed and deals in a product. And we'll begin things with Arlene Francis.
Mr. Snyderman, is it a useful product?
Yes?
Is it a product that any of us on the panel might possibly own?
No.
You don't know what we own.
I was about to say that, but I think, Arlene, that is fair. It is unlikely that any one of the four of you would own it. It does not say you could not own it, but it's unlikely that you would. Bennett?
Mr. Snyderman, may we assume that this product of yours has never been or is not now alive?
No.
No?
No, you asked him, may we assume that it has never been and is not now?
Yes.
Yeah, I think we could assume it is not alive, right?
No.
Right.
It's not.
Mm-hmm.
Is this a manufactured product?
Yes.
Is it larger than the proverbial bread box?
Yes.
Has it got any moving parts in it?
No.
That's 2 down and 8 to go, Miss Knickerbocker.
It just sits there. It's stationary. Oh. Is it something that at any time touches the body?
Yes.
When I said it just sits there, the audience laughed. Do you sit in this product?
Yes.
You've got a clear mind, Susan.
I don't know why, after seeing my son, I can even think. You sit in it. Now, is it...
You could. You could sit in it.
You can sit in it.
Taking all the words for exactly what they mean, you could sit in it.
You could sit in it. But its primary purpose, then, is not... I mean, you couldn't call it a chair. Am I right in saying you couldn't call it a chair or a couch?
Yes.
Is it, when you are close to this, or touching it, or sitting on it, do you do anything else with it?
No, I wouldn't say you did anything else with it. 3 down and 7 to go, Mr. Gabel.
I'm hipped on the time of the year. I'm very moved by everything that's going on in the great city and so on. Has it anything to do with this most emotional time of the year?
No.
No. 4 down and 6 to go, Miss Francis.
Who arranged this program?
Could children enjoy this product?
Sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Is it ever found out of doors?
Yes.
Is it more often found out of doors than indoors?
Yes.
But let me say I would not make too much of that, because it would be difficult to ascertain just what percentage, if it were in use, was spent outdoors and what percentage indoors. It is not very important.
If it is not primarily used to sit in, and it is not, I believe.
No, it doesn't.
Would you go into it?
I've had enough trouble with it. No. 5 down and 5 to go, Mr. Cerf.
Mr. Snyderman, is there any danger connected with this product?
No.
There's 6 down and 4 to go, Miss Knickerbocker.
Is it made of metal?
Partly.
It has no movable parts. We ascertained that. Is it scooped out or hollowed out in any way?
No, I don't think so.
Partially shaped.
7 down and 3 to go.
Oh,
no,
let it go
you're too
on.
kind. You're too
Has it
kind,
anything
Mr.
to...
Snyder.
Excuse me, John. Has it anything to do with either health or pleasure?
Not specifically, Martin. It would have, a very tangential application. So that's 8 down and 2 to go,
You
Arlene.
say it has some metal. Is it made of wood?
No.
Nope. 9 down and 1 to go, Mr. Cerf.
Now, wait a minute. There's some metal in it, and there's no wood in it. Is
Right.
there cloth in it?
Yes?
Cloth.
Metal and cloth. Does it move around? Is it moved around when it's in use?
Very often. Very often.
Yes.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
Has it anything to do with household, or would it be part of a household, either inside or outside part of the household inventory?
No.
No, I wouldn't think you'd call it household inventory.
May I take a guess?
Yeah.
It isn't anything like a butterfly net or anything that you'd catch it.
Not a hammock, is it, John?
No,
No.
you sit in that.
No, but you're getting closer than you have been. Actually, Mr. Snyderman is Toronto's leading kilt maker. Bennett has that quizzical look.
I know some Scotchmen whose kilts would be smaller than a bread box.
Yeah, but I know some Scotchmen whose kilts would be bigger than a bread box. This is always difficult because when you ask that question, of course, you could take a kilt and fold it up and put it into a bread box, but
Pardon?
equally, you know, you could take a kilt, a big bread box, you could put a kilt into. If you folded it up, you know, as tight as you
Why
would.
would kilts be made in Canada?
Oh, they have Scottish regiments of great name, reputation, and fame up there, and actually...
Oh, they've got a Canadian black watch, I know that.
Yeah,
Yes.
and Mr. Snyderman was a tailor in the Canadian Army and is now your tailor to 2 of the reserve
I'm
divisions.
the regimental tailor of the 48th Highlanders.
What metal is in kilts?
The buckles.
The buckles. Don't you have buckles on your kilt, Bennett? Good heavenly days. Well, thank you, Mr. Snyderman. That was fun. It's always good to stick the panel. Nice to have had you with us in What's My Line? We'll meet tonight's mystery guest in just a moment, but first, this word. Blindfolds, panel. Blindfolds, please, panel. We are coming to our special feature on the program, the appearance of the mystery guest, which, as you know, requires you must again be blindfolded. So when you get all the blindfolds in place, Bennett got another letter this week. He loves to bring letters to me from folks that are critical, you know, like my cuffs don't show. He had one from a very nice teacher out, I think, in the western part of the country, who said that I always use the same inflection when I say, well, the next contestant, enter and sign in, please. So tonight I've been trying to reverse it, and I'm not doing very well. But that's all right. The most blindfolds are in place, panel?
Yes,
Good. Will you enter Mystery Challenger and sign in, please? All right. Panel, now we go to the other form of questioning. As you will remember, it's one question at a time, in turn, moving clockwise, and we'll begin things with Bennett Cerf.
Just to change the usual first question, are you famous for some kind of physical prowess?
I hope not.
What?
I said I hope not.
That's a no, Bennett. 1 down and 9 to go. Suzy Knickerbocker.
Would be nice, though.
Ah. Are you a lady in show business?
Yes.
Mr. Gabel?
Are you appearing now on Broadway?
You mean just generally in any way, manner, shape, or form?
In a Broadway play, John.
Oh,
No.
that's 2 down, a date to go, Miss Francis.
Are you soon to appear in a Broadway play?
No.
3 down and 7 to go, Mr. Cerf.
Are you a motion picture star?
Yes.
Miss Knickerbocker?
Are you a blonde motion picture star?
Yes.
Mr. Gabel?
Is a picture of yours now being exhibited on Broadway?
Yes.
Miss Francis?
Are you American?
Yes.
Mr. Cerf?
Would you describe yourself, or would John describe you as a pin-up girl?
I'll leave that to John.
Well, now, I would say here, I think that our guest is a beautiful woman. And I trust that, Bennett, you will accept that as being the most magnificent of all pin-up girls. But a beautiful woman. Miss Knickerbocker.
I'm going to guess. Are you Eva Marie Saint?
You will understand now why I said, did you mean in any manner, shape, or form?
I quite understand.
Because Grand Prix, which is Eva Marie Saint's new big movie, is right on Broadway right now, and but she's not in a Broadway play.
I'd like to say the Broadway stage is less for her not appearing on it.
Agreed. I must say also, if I may, because I think Martin opens the door, all of us who are in television remember with great pride that I think you've served a long apprenticeship and a very successful one in television, and we were very proud to see you go on and do the great things that you've done in Hollywood and on the Broadway stage, too.
And the pictures will be back on television, John.
You think they will be? You really think a day's going to come, Martin, when they put those movies on television? I don't
John,
know.
I think Miss Saint was in the best picture of the year. The Russians Are Coming.
Oh, thank you.
I think it's the funniest, cleverest picture of the entire year.
Thank you.
And you were great.
And I liked your cover on Time.
I must say that I'm sure Grand Prix will be as great a success as the Russians were coming, or are coming, was, is, and were, and so forth. And thank you very much. It's nice to have had you with us. Well, you've done very well, panel. I must say you ought to be congratulated in spite of the fact that we gave you some trouble with the kilts. And we will all be back after this word. Well, we have very little time left, but I think there's a good reason to try to have another contestant. Will you enter and sign in, please? All right, Mr. G. Avery West. Where are you from, sir?
East Hampton, Connecticut.
East Hampton, Connecticut. Will you say hello to the panel and then join me? And panel, as I've told you, we have very little time left, but I think that this might be fun for you tonight. So we'll let the audience in the theater and at home know fleetingly what it is that Mr. West does, and then we'll see what you can find out. All right. Mr. West, I can tell you, is salaried and deals in a product, and we will start with Mr. Gabel.
Thank you, John. Mr. West, East Hampton is one of the most beautiful communities in the country. And, of course, it's on the sea. Has your occupation anything to do with the sea?
No.
Not really. This is, their product is involved here, and we won't say it isn't at sea ever, but not really. Miss Francis?
Is it a product that's found in the home?
Yes.
Is it a product that anybody might get for Christmas or have gotten?
Yes.
Can it be bought in a store?
Yes.
Is it edible?
No.
2 down and 8 to go, Mr. Cerf.
Mr. West, is it an article of apparel?
No.
3 down and 7 to go, Suzy Knickerbocker.
Is it a useful...
Knickerbocker.
Yeah, that's about it.
Knickerbocker. Oh, fully. Listen, this is fun.
John.
We asked Mr. West to come tonight because what he does is sells bells, and we thought that would be great fun tonight. But we flipped all the cards over. Mr. West is with the Bevan Brothers Manufacturing Company and in East Hampton, established in 1832. They make bells of all sizes up to what, 8 inches?
12 inches.
12 inches, 8 inches, all kinds of bells. 12 inches in diameter. We thought it was nice to have you tonight. Thank you very much for being with us, sir. It's nice to see you. And now we have this time to say, lovely to have you, Martin and Susie, and to say a happy Merry Christmas and good night, Miss Knickerbocker.
Happy Merry Christmas to you, and happy Merry Christmas to you.
And you, of course.
Thank you, dear. Merry Christmas again, Bennett.
And to everybody. And I want to hear your New Year's resolutions next week, John.
Yes, sir. And Merry Christmas, Bennett. And you can wait for my New Year's resolutions, and thanks to all of you for being with us, and Merry Christmas from What's My Line?
What's My Line is a CBS television network production in association with Mark Goodson and Bill Totten. With Francis Gown from Bonwit Color. This is Johnny Olson speaking for What's My Line. The preceding program was pre-recorded.